Today we are going to talk about marriage. More particular, my marriage. Now, I'm not going to stand here and come before you and talk about how horrible my husband was and he didn't do this and he's not a good man and this, that, and the other. My husband is absolutely a wonderful husband. It was me who was horrible. Now, not horrible to the extent of having an affair, having a spending addiction or any kind of addiction or being abusive or anything like that. It's a very subtle type of horribleness that, speaking from the female perspective, many of us women don't even realize that we do it. And it was being selfish. I was very selfish. And I didn't think that I was. Well, who does? If you're getting everything that you want and everything is working out in your favor, I'm just thinking things are going good. But when you're in a marriage or you're in a relationship, and you are that type of a person, as I was, um, it becomes a burden on the other person. And so now that person is trying to make a decision, is this what they want to stick with or are they going to hit the road? And I'm just going to share with you just a little bit about my journey and hoping that some of the nuggets that I share today and my experiences will help you in your current relationship or your future relationship. So, look, I don't expect you to just kind of eat the whole sandwich all at one time. We'll do a series of a few videos that are very short so we can kind of keep your attention span. And that way you can watch whichever videos that, that apply to you. So about me, I've been married going on 29 years to my wonderful husband. We have two adult children and we have a new grandson. And I'm telling you, to get to 29 years, it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of work. And it takes a lot of work for the other person if they're in a relationship with a person who's very selfish. And it wasn't until, year 15, that's a long time, year 15, that I had to deal with and grasp the depths of my selfishness. Like, I was just bad. I didn't realize how bad I was until I stepped outside of myself and I took a look and I said, whoa, this is just not good. So I had to kind of, grasp that. And then, I had to do some self-reflection. And a lot of times we don't like to self-reflect because we think that we're okay. And that could be, the reason could be is that we are basking in our own form of dysfunction. It's not a horrible dysfunction, but it's a dysfunction nonetheless if it's causing grievance or burden on another person. And so while I'm sitting those 15 years, I'm just hoping he's going to change. Well, no, it wasn't him that needed to change. It was me right here. And many times, we don't want to think it's us. We want to think that it's the other person. We want to change the other person. Oh, they're going to change. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. No, if you focus on changing yourself and all the attention is on you, then you don't have to worry about the other person, because as you're changing and they start seeing a different side of you or a better side of you, it's going to cause them to change. And now we're all in an amendable place where we can have a conversation about how we move forward. So throughout these series of videos, I'm going to share some things that I had to learn or things that I figured out and things that worked for me. Now, I'm no relationship guru, but what I do know is what I know about my marriage and how we were able to get to 29 years. And I'm just here just to share that with you. And so I'm going to be looking at my notes from time to time because I want to make sure that I get every little nugget that I want to impart to you. So, everything that we're going to discuss, or that I'm going to discuss in this series of videos, is something that I've absolutely experienced in my marriage. And the one thing that, I've never, ever in my marriage said that we were perfect. It's not a perfect marriage. Now, if you have a perfect marriage, kudos to you. I am happy. I bid you peace and more blessings and many more blissful years. But I'm here to tell you that mine wasn't perfect. And a lot of times, we want to have this image. We want everybody to see this image of what we think our marriage is or how it is. And, right now in the age of social media, everybody's posting those perfect pictures. But when they go home, things are just crumbling and life is just falling apart. When you think about imagination, That word before it is image. What image, are many people trying to portray in their marriage? I wasn't trying to portray an image because it just takes a lot of energy just to do all that. And I just wasn't about to do that. So I'm going to share with you just a couple of things that we're going to talk about. Some things you'll like and some things you just aren't going to like. And that is okay, because you have the right to turn this video off and not watch it again. But you will. So we're going to talk about marriage is not 50-50. Many people think that it is and that it should be, but it's not. Know what you will and what you won't do. You need to have those conversations. Extended family expectations. Your children, your spouse comes before your children. And avoid making major life decisions regarding the family and the household without speaking to your partner. So I'm going to be making some references to some books, and I'll go ahead and give them to you now. So when I go back and reference them and I forget the author, you already have the information. So one book is The Love Dare. If you've ever seen that movie, Fireproof, with Kirk Cameron, The Love Dare, that is a really good book. The 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. Love and Respect by Emerson Eggerichs. And Men Are Like Waffles and Women Are Like Spaghetti. And I'll be making some reference to some of those books as we go ahead and get started. So I am excited to go ahead and get this going. And I hope that you will join me in the next video. I'll see you at the next video.